Welcome to Primerica Live for April 12th, 2021. Today is one of our very special broadcasts where we spotlight and recognize one of our recent million-dollar earners and their hierarchies. It always makes it a special show, but this one is truly special because I'm sure you'll remember last year when we made history as a company by breaking into triple digits in the number of our million-dollar earners. We went over $100 million earners last year, and today's guest and his team, the great Chris Achong and Hierarchy, are one of the two leaders that went over on the same night to become joint $100th million earners at Primerica. And so today we're going to get a chance to hear from Chris along with some of the senior leadership on his team, RVP Sheldon Baptiste, RVP Fritz Squire, and SVP Harvey Grajales. But first, let me update you on more records and milestones at Primerica. You know, since last Monday when we last met, we've closed out the month of March, and I can tell you there's no question in my mind that March to 1 billion was the greatest month in the history of our company. Just look at the final results. Look at the records that you set in the month of March now that the numbers are final. First of all, in a single month, Primerica paid its sales force $98.8 million in cash, up 26% from last March. We came that close to $100 million in a month. And I want you to know it was a company record. It was a U.S. record. It was a Canada record. We paid more money to our Canadian field force in March than in any month in our history in Canada. And that led to a 12-month rolling total of $1.02 billion. So yes, it was billion-dollar March. We did break $1 billion, and if you write down 1.02 billion and put out the zeros, you'll know that that's $1,020 million. So it's not like we just barely made it. We went over our goal by $20 million in rolling 12 field comp, up 19%, and also the record for 12-month comp in the U.S. and in Canada. So proud of what you accomplished at the company level. But look at the bottom half of this slide and look what happened at your level, folks. I've never seen numbers like this. 55 new first-time $50,000 earners in the month of March, folks. That's almost 2 a day. 34 new $100,000 earners. That's more than 1 a day. 73 new diamond earners in just the month of March. That's well over 2 a day. So folks, that's 5 milestones a day at Primerica. A $50,000 earner, $100,000 earner, additional diamond, 5 a day. Here's my question for you. When's your day? If we're going to recognize 5 milestones a day at Primerica, when are you going to claim a day and make it your day? But folks, don't just claim it. Talk is cheap. It takes action. Action pays, and that's why we're calling this month Take Action April. We want to take all the excitement, all the record momentum, and we want to put it together into one gigantic month. And I believe we've got the incentives to make that happen. You know by now about our effort to honor our first responders with a $49 IBA licensing fee. We've never done this before. If you want to know who a first responder is, all that information is out there on POL in the playbook. You just go out and take a look at it. But we're having a record response to this because it truly is. It's exciting for recruits and recruiters, but it truly is a way to honor those who put their lives on the line for all of us over the last year. Now, we want to help you with that today because we've heard some feedback, and so this might help you get even more leverage out of it. First of all, on this slide at the top half, we've got what we explained to you before about how to take advantage of the $49 IBA, which means you just pay, the $25 POL fee up front, which is $28 count tax in Canada, and then you send the check money. When you go through that process, that's a process we started talking about when we roll this out on RVP Locker Room. But what we've discovered is that makes it a little bit of a slow process for you to get the rep ID for that new recruit, or as those of us that have been around for 40 years call it the code number for the new recruit. And I know that you've got recruits that want to get started right now. They don't need to be waiting on that rep ID or that code number. So we're introducing an alternative today at the bottom half of this slide. You can send in the $99 and then follow up with the information proving that they're first responders and get a $50 refund. Doing it that way, you get a rep ID immediately as soon as the $99 hits. So if getting the rep ID immediately is critical, use the bottom half of the slide. If doing it at $49 and not having to wait on a $50 refund by sending in $99 is critical, use the top half of the slide. No matter what you do, take advantage of it and use it right now. We're going to give you some help. You know, already out on the Rep Marketing Center, we've got campaigns for you to email out this opportunity. Later this week, they're going to be in Primerica Social. They're going to be social media posts pre-prepared for you to get the word out. So let's take action in April with a record number of recruits and honor our first responders at the same time. In addition to that, all of these additional incentives in place that are up on the screen right now. Something for recruits and recruiters. You know they're up there. We've been using them before, so you're familiar with them. There's something for future RVPs. Finish the job of qualifying for that iPad or do it all in the month of April. And then RVPs, there's growth bonuses and there's licensing bonuses in play. And so I want to challenge you to use everything that's out there to move your team forward. And by the way, don't forget, the month of April is the final month to qualify for your photo or a larger photo in the Financial Independence Council book. We're doing that this year, even though we've rescheduled the convention. We'll do it again next year, but this is the opportunity to be in the Financial Independence Council book and be there with the biggest picture possible. We've got great events that we're planning as we go, continue to throw gas on the fire of the record momentum we have right now. I mentioned using Primerica Social to get the word out about the $49 IBA. If you want to understand exactly how that new process works, and it is awesome, then you need to plug into the special live broadcast coming up Tuesday, April 20th. That's a week from tomorrow. Okay, you plug into this broadcast at noon Eastern time. You can see the superstars that are going to be on there. Mario Arizon, the Salazars. I'll be on with Peter and Talisha Harris, our Primerica Social expert at Primerica, who's been involved in building and creating this incredible tool for the field. If you want to understand how that works, you plug into that broadcast on April 20th. And then I'm going to keep reminding you about June 5th, our Super Saturday, our largest event ever. We believe it's going to be bigger in attendance than a convention, but it's going to be virtual. It's coming up on June 5th, which is Saturday, noon to 3 Eastern time. I'm going to challenge you to build an event in front of it or build an event behind it and plug into it. And let's have record attendance at that event. Hey, I don't know if you've seen it yet. If not, you'll see it on POL and social media today or later this week. We had some great coverage in USA Today on Friday, where our monitor, our quarterly monitor that we do for middle income was profiled and featured. It gave us an opportunity not only to get some numbers out about how much middle income market families need us, but also how much we're delivering from them. And I was honored to represent you with a number of quotes in this article from last Friday. We're going to be posting it all over everything today so that you'll have access to it. But it represents you so well because it talks about how you stand in the gap for middle income families at a critical time like this. And so I wanted you to be aware of that and take advantage of using that and get the good news out. But now what we need to do before we go to Chris and team is we need to recognize 1 week's worth of milestones at Primerica. Folks, this is unbelievable. These are just the leaders that went over $100,000 and above milestones since last Monday. In 7 days, we've had 15 new first-time $100,000 earners in the last week at Primerica. Let's recognize Noel and Reina Villalobos, Keisha and Gerardo Castellanos, Lori and Andrew Moncure, Jerry and Carmen Roman, Desiree and Cesar Navarro, Jonathan and Susie Morera, Henry and Yesenia Nicholas, Danilo and Jennifer Francis, Walter and Tammy Cavazos, and Joe and Abby Clavin. That's 10 out of 15. Let's go to the next 5 and pick up the other 5. Congratulations on new $100,000 earners in the last 7 days. Congratulations to him and Krishna Bhatt, Cherubim and Tanya Gunaratnam, Basil and Emmy Page, James and Sylvina Below, and Maxine Bodway and Miles Schwartz. Folks, that's unbelievable. That's over 2 a day at Primerica, new $100,000 earners in the last 7 days. And then 4 brand new $200,000 earners in the last 7 days. Let's congratulate adding the second diamond, Talene and Gerald Campbell, Osmani Cabrera and Yamila Martinez, Nadia and Calderon and Pedro Medina and Manon Busk. Congratulations to those 4. Now, look at this, 6 new $300,000 earners in the last week. Congratulations to Kevin and Karen Washington, Arkeem Williams, Juan and Maria Guerrero Jr., second-generation Primericans, Rich and Marie Ann Lee, Joseph and Maria Michelizzi, and Larry and Jan Isaacman is our newest $300,000 earners. And remember, for those 6, that's also full ownership. If they were already in an ownership position, congratulations to that group. Now 3 new $400,000 earners last week. Let's congratulate James and Tisha Carter, Abraham and Gabby Montiel, and Vito and Laura Fortuna for adding the 4th diamond to their ring. I love new $500,000 earners because that shows if they can do the first half, they can do the second half. So congratulations to adding the 5th diamond to the great Sashi and Mel Pegram and Chris Bush for becoming Primerica's newest $500,000 earners in the last 7 days. Let's keep going. 6 diamonds. Unbelievable. 4 new $600,000 earners in the last 7 days. Congratulations to April and Monty Bonner, Michael and Teresa Madison, Kamika and Marcus John, and Joe and Vivian Ortiz adding the 6th diamond to their ring. Then to the 8th diamond, $800,000 earners, the great Myrna and Juan Guerrero. So proud of them. Congratulations on this couple as they head through the 8th diamond. I know they're headed to $1 million. Speaking of $1 million, we're going to jump right over $1 million and go all the way to the 11th diamond. I'm proud of leaders that continue growing beyond the $1 million ring, especially these 2 couples. Great leadership from Assad and Lois Farage and Mike and Regina Evans. Congratulations for adding the 11th diamond. Then the 13th diamond, $1.3 million in income in the last 12 months, clicked over in the last week. The great Carlos and Monica Leon. So proud of them. And then at the 15th diamond, $1.5 million in income in the last 12 months, just cleared it in the last 7 days. Congratulations to the great Joe and Militia Ward for $1.5 million in the last 12 months. Now we go up to $2 million, and we're proud today to recognize our 24th $2 million earners at Primerica. We're going to have to start a goal of $102 million. We're number 24. Couldn't be a better couple to get us there. The great Neil and Victoria Gerfine becoming our newest $2 million earners at Primerica. So proud of Neil and Victoria and their continued example of success and guidance for the rest of us. But we're not going to stop at $2 million. Let's go to $2.2 million, 22nd diamond added by the great Mario and Franny Arizon, continuing to lead beyond the $2 million mark. So excited for them and so blessed for all of us. But then at the 24th diamond, $2.4 million in the last 12 months. Congratulations to the great Pat and Gary Cornegie and family for adding the 24th diamond at $2.4 million. Just absolutely incredible. But let's keep going. 28th diamond, $2.8 million earners in the last 12 months. So proud of the great Rick and Michelle Susie. Rick is a longtime leader and such an important example to all of us at Primerica of toughness, of leadership vision, and adding that 28th diamond. They're on the verge. They're headed to $3 million and beyond. Speaking of $3 million, we're not going to stop at 1. We're not going to stop at 2. We're not even going to stop at 3. Achieving the 33rd diamond, $3.3 million of cash flow in the last 12 months. The great Willie and Lorraine and Arano continue to lead from the front, and we're so proud of them and what they're accomplishing. So congratulations to Willie and Lorena for their continued leadership and example. Whew, y'all, that's just 7 days at Primerica. I'm out of breath from just giving all of the great milestones. And so congratulations to those leaders. But as I said earlier, today's show is really just truly spotlight one leader and one leadership team. And that's our $100th million earners, the great Chris Achong and team. We've got them here on Primerica Live remote today. So the first thing I want to do is welcome this great team and Chris and his leaders. Welcome to the program, Chris, and congratulations once again on your team being number 100.
So much, Glenn.
Got them on there. You can tell they're excited. We're excited. We've got some traditions. We normally do this live in the studio at Primerica, but we're still remote. But we're not going to do it. We're not going to give up. We're going to do it anyway. We're going to start out by having some fun. One of my favorite forms of recognition for new $1 million earners is the $1 million bill. The gigantic $1 million bill with Chris's picture on that. This will be great to go up in the office and remind. This is a conversation piece right here when it's hanging on the wall in the office. So it's my privilege to hand this over to Chris and team right now. Congratulations on the $1 million bill, Chris. Woo! Hey, congratulations on that. That looks awesome. Hey, one of the things we've discovered is Zoom has got to figure out a feature so we can all cheer without having the mic cut because we're a cheering bunch of folks at Primerica when it comes to something like this. Next up, after the $1 million bill, one of my favorites, the $1 million jersey. You know, we're a team at Primerica, and so we give out a team jersey for every $1 million team, and it's a great honor to honor Chris and team with this red $1 million earner jersey from 2021. So we're going to hand that over. Chris, congratulations.
Thank you.
I love that with the number 100 on the back. Man, you got to be a big player in football to have triple digits on your jersey. And Chris and team are definitely big players and high impact players. But last but not least, in fact, most important, the thing people fight for more than anything, in fact, we call it the run for the Ruby, is the Ruby ring. And so it's a great honor, Chris, for Primerica and for me to be able to recognize you with the legendary Ruby ring for becoming our 100th $1 million earners. Here you go, buddy. Proud of you, man. Man, you can tell that team's excited, but Chris, not everybody knows what that ring looks like. So I want you to put that ring on, hold it out to the camera so everybody can see what a $1 million ring looks like.
One of the things we got to work on as leaders is we got to become better coaches. Smart business people are coachable.
When SNSD Chris Achong of Brooklyn, New York first learned about the Primerica business opportunity in 1995, he never expected to make company history 25 years later as the 100th leader to achieve the Primerica $1 million ring. What he saw in the opportunity instead was a chance to do something meaningful for his community and to provide a better life for his family. After attending an opportunity meeting at a local hotel, he could see a new path forward through Primerica.
From the moment Chris Achong burst onto the scene at Primerica, everyone could tell he was meant for greatness. He was a little brash, a little outspoken, but at the same time you could tell he had a gigantic heart to do something great in this company and also lead others to greatness.
His team rallied together to support their leader, to take their individual businesses to the next level, and to keep the entire team moving forward. Actions which ultimately led to pushing Chris up to the second diamond level and membership in the African American Leadership Council in 2009.
This thing about being excited and holding it in, this is not that kind of business. You got to be excited. You got to be visibly excited to your team 5, 6 in the morning. They got to know you're on it. They got to know you're intense.
Between November 2014 and June 2020, Chris blew through 8 new milestones, NSD, SNSD, and 6 additional diamonds to claim the final spot in the first 100 $1 million earners in Primerica's history.
You got to cheerlead and keep pushing people up. All day accountability. Every single day we did accountability and recognition. Not every other day. Work ethic and sacrifice that every single leader played. Thank you, all the leaders in the phone, for changing our life. And giving us an opportunity, to be 100. It is unfreaking believable. Thank you.
Chris's commitment to helping families throughout his community, his dedication to pushing others up to success are the driving force behind every action he takes.
Over a very short period of time, Chris excelled and succeeded as few others have in our business. But then when he became focused on becoming a $1 million earner, you could tell he had changed. Yes, over time he had matured and mellowed and focused on the things he could do to impact society in such a powerful way. But that fire was still burning inside to do something great at Primerica. And as he focused on his mission, there was no doubt in anybody's mind he was going to do it, and he was going to do it big. And he certainly did. Congratulations to Chris Achong, Primerica's 100th $1 million earner.
How we doing, Primerica? Man, we are so pumped up. We're in the A Unit headquarters this morning. We are so excited. This is such a special moment today. You're going to get a chance to hear from a few of our speakers, a few of our leaders here in the office. And we wanted to just kind of, spotlight a few leaders. But I know the spotlight is kind of like on me today. But in reality, the spotlight is because of, the leaders that, allow me to shine, and my uplines, my incredible coaches, and the incredible team that we're part of, the A-Unit hierarchy. So I just wanted to thank a few special people. There's so many people to thank. I know I'm going to forget somebody, but, I wanted to thank, obviously, Keith Otter for always selling us the dream, always putting us in a position where we wanted to achieve more. I want to thank my uplines, Ray and Carol Costello, for always believing in us, even when we didn't believe in ourselves. They never let me quit. One of the things that they did was they never let me show any doubt, fear, or hurt. They never let me wimp out. They always made me, adjust. I want to thank, also my other upline, Roy Lipson, for always being there for us. He's kind of like my business therapist, I call him, okay? He always listens. He don't really say a lot. He just kind of nods and just listens, which is therapy, basically, just sit there and listening. But we really appreciate him for teaching us a lot of, business stuff. Some of our mentors in the company, we got hundreds of mentors in the company, like Joe Ward, Peggy, Gary, Lisa, Shelley, a lot of leaders that just poured into us and just helped us, along the years, just, believe in ourselves and push more and get up one more time. I want to thank the whole AALC family for just an incredible inspiration and just that confidence that we can get up and get after it every single day. I mean, there's winning left and right. It's the most competitive team, I believe, in the daggum company. I want to thank the AJLC for, again, all the leaders there for believing in us and always having our back. Also, I want to thank the RVP team, the A Unit RVP team. Can we give them a big hand? They're some spot on leadership, man. One of the things I run is a white on rice leadership kind of business. And, we've found a way, professional and not professional sometimes, it gets a little crazy because it is the A Unit, but we get along, we love each other, and we're one big family. So I just love them, man. I want to thank, the guys that was with me from the beginning in the trenches, Orville and Bernard, where we was, trying to figure this thing out. They was there from the beginning. I want to thank my right-hand business person that's behind the scenes that helps me build my business, Jenny. I want to thank the love of my life, Wendy. She's always there, makes me happy, allows me to do what I need to do on a day-to-day basis. And, I'm all over the place and crazy going all. And then I want to thank my mom, which is, really special to me. I'm not going to get into her yet. We'll get into it in the next segment. But one of the first speakers I want to introduce you to, and there was so many introduced. This big fights already broke out already because who was supposed to speak up here today? There's serious competition going on, man. But the first guy that's going to speak, so excited about him and Jeanette. They just went on 200,000, on their way to 3. Gonna kill it here on the call. The most exciting guy that we have on the entire A Unit by far. The boy is excited day and night. I don't know what Jeanette does with him. The great Sheldon G. Baptiste.
Man, what an introduction, man. How you guys doing, A Unit? Honored to be speaking in front of you guys today, man. First of all, I just want to give a couple shout outs. Thanks to the home office team, right? Glenn, everybody at the home office. Thanks to our incredible upline, Chris Achong, right? Thanks to our incredible team, the primetime team, right? Man, super excited about that team. And last but not least, thanks to our incredible wife, the love of my life, Jeanette Jean Baptiste. Without her, our business would not be where it's at right now, right? So I'm fired up, man. Anybody excited, man? Man, I'm jacked up, right? So my topic to you guys today, man, is I want to talk about the power of a movement, right? Because us going over $1 million, us becoming $1 million hierarchy, right? That's not a small deal. That's a big deal, right, guys, right? Man, that's a movement, right? So what's a movement? A movement is a large group of people focused on achieving a particular goal, right, guys, right? And the movement I want to talk to you guys about today is us becoming the $100 million earning team in Primerica, guys, right? And real quick, I just want to, so we heard the company talk about this for a while, right? And we wanted to make sure that we get it done. And we just want to give a huge shout out to Joe Ward. Chris shouted him out earlier, right? Huge shout out to Joe Ward for giving us the blueprint, right? Because without him, man, I'm not sure if we would have became the 100 team, right? So a huge shout out to you, right? So he gave us the blueprint. So that number 100 was very special to us because, like I said, we heard Glenn, we heard the company just talk about it for a while, and we wanted to make sure that we got that done, right? So, and we knew that if you want to move your numbers, right, that you got to sell out to something a lot bigger than you. Does that make sense, right? So that goal was like the perfect goal, and it came at the right time for us because we wanted to go to the next level, right? But guess what? With goals come challenges, right? So what are some of the challenges, right? The pandemic, right? And we were like in the epicenter of the pandemic. We were in New York, right? So many things were happening, right? So so much stuff was going on, right? But guess what? The odds were against us, right? But that didn't matter because that fueled us even more. You guys follow me? See, when you're a champion, right? It doesn't matter what's going on. A champion is always going to find a way to get the job done, right, guys? Right? So what did our team do? Our team, we just made more phone calls, right? Man, if we made 100 phone calls a day, it was time to double it up. We had to make 200, right? Man, we set more appointments. We set more interviews, right? Okay. All right, so we set more appointments, right? Set more interviews, right? No more, no more 24 to 48-hour orientations. Man, we recruit you right now. Man, the same moment we're doing that orientation. So what Zoom did for our business, it just created a sense of urgency to a whole nother level, right? More people getting their bonuses, promotion just happening faster. You guys follow me, right? And it was just an intensity beyond ridiculous. Just waking up early, going to bed late, and just the alignment of the RVP team, the A unit RVP team, right, just came together because we wanted to make sure that our coach, right, got the job done, and that's exactly what we did. So every single day we were just strategizing, daily strategizing, right, daily accountability. Sometimes accountability with people that we don't even override, right? You guys follow me? Because we had to do whatever it takes to get the job done, right? No quit mindset, right? Whatever it takes, right? We push and we stretch, right? But through all the challenges, right? Everything that we had to go through, right? The A unit team delivered, right? We went from becoming an $800,000 earning team to jumping 2 diamond, right, in the same month, right, guys, right? Man, that's not a small deal. That's a big deal, right? We had our best income month, right? We made over $30,000, right, in 1 month, right? Because of the vision that was sold to us, right, guys, right? So that's a nugget right there. See, when you sell out to your upline, all your goals and dreams are gonna get accomplished in the process, right, guys, right? So, and just recently, right, we're still riding off of that momentum. Our team just crossed over 200,000 in income, right? Which is a big deal, right, guys, right? Because we sold out to something bigger than us, right? Man, that's awesome, right? So I'm just so grateful to be in Primerica, man. I'm just a kid from Brooklyn, right? Who parents just came here from another country, came from Haiti, who just wanted a better life, right? Man, if it wasn't from Primerica, I don't know where I would be today, right? I just want to, shout out to Chris, right, for believing in us and always pouring into us, even when it didn't make sense. Our numbers weren't where it should have been, right? But he kept believing, right? And thank you, man. I appreciate it, right? And I'm just excited, man. Thank you, Primerica. Thank you, the company. I'm so excited to be up here, right? Back to you, Chris. Thank you, Coach, right?
LG Baptiste, watch out for that name, guys. Primerica, next $1 million earner. Hey, the next speaker that we're going to bring up, I am so pumped up about this next speaker. He is bad. I was going to say bad something, but he's awesome, man. Him and his spouse, inches away from 300,000. One of the most strong work ethics, lead from the front. Any given month he'll drop 15,000 just to show his team he wants to go to the next level. Got a bunch of regional vice presidents on his team. I just got a chance to spend some time with them down in Florida. So proud of this team. They're going to break records in this company. The great Fritz and Tiki Squire.
Oh, man, we're so excited, man. Such an honor to be on the show. I called my mom earlier today and I'm like, I'm about to be on TV, and she didn't understand what the hell. She's like, where do I go to see, But we're so excited, man. So grateful to be here, man. It's such an incredible opportunity to be a part of this special milestone. And we're just a representative of our team, our incredible team, the Squires Empire. But not only that, we're a representative of the A unit team. And this was a cause, like Sheldon and Chris says, Joe Ward gave us a phone call like a couple months ago, and he's like, man, you guys got to do it. And I just remember on those RVP, he had an RVP meeting, and, let's just say the RVP was a little rough, it was a little tough, and he cursed us out, and so we got to go get it done. and I looked at Tiki, and I said to Tiki, I'm like, we're just like, you know what, we just got to go do it. And we rallied our team together and was able to make this thing happen. And I'm so proud of our team. And I'm so grateful for our uplines, like Ray and Carol and Keith Otto and Joe Cardine and Roy Lipson and all these guys that just literally pour into us over the years. And more important, I'm so excited to be a part of ALC and just to be a part of that team. Where every single day it just felt like a different milestone. We're leaders that's just jumping diamonds. But when you look at what happened, the biggest thing that happened in my eyes was a team player. And if you look at any team that works together and rally together, you show me a team that's going to have massive success. And then when you look at excitement, I see the biggest thing in Primerica, the longer you're here, sometimes it's a little harder to get excited. You may not be as excited as it used to be as maybe a brand new person. But man, we was fired up, we was excited. And what we do, we took that excitement and turned it into work. And when you look at, simple stuff as hashtag A unit to $1 million, You know, you probably heard, Write Your Goals Done, but every single close, every single IBA, everything that we did was hashtag A unit to a million. So we're talking about it over and over and over and over again. And as a result, that happened. And if you look at, for me personally, a couple of things that I believe that our mindset or things that I believe that if you focus on doing long term, you will have a significant impact in your business. So when you start about having a recruiting mindset, the biggest thing about having a recruiting mindset is, it's more like the only thing that you got to think about. You got to eat, sleep, and breathe recruiting. I think most people try to get great at the product, which is nothing wrong with that. But I think the biggest product you should get great at is recruiting and building. And I'm just grateful because of my wife. Without her, I would never be here. And just always instill that in me and our team about recruiting. You look at the work. I mean, everybody knows this, right? When it comes to us prospecting, invites, and appointment set, all that good stuff, we already know that. But there's a significant amount of work that you're probably going to have to do to go get that done. And if you go to the next slide, it talks about the work. What's the work in Primerica? The invites, the appointment set, the appointment done, the interviews. Right? A lot of us know this, but every once in a while we do so little, or we don't do as much, or we probably forget. Sometimes people are, I'm so frustrated. Well, you're frustrated because you're not getting the work done, And I look at Primerica, and when I compare Primerica to other business, because every once in a while, there's so many different things that happen where people says, man, I want to do this, I want to do that, and they start doing all different type of things. But when you look at Primerica compared to any other business, and I remember Chris started a little restaurant thing, and he had that going on for a little while. And then my uncle, who's a restaurant, I'm from Jamaica, from another country. When I first came here, I had an opportunity to work with it in his restaurant. It's kind of like that's the first thing you do when you come from another country, you work in your family business until you get your act together, And then I remember I got my act together, and I still got my first job. I was working at Domino's Pizza, deliver pizza for a living. And I went to college, and I did all what I was taught. But the bottom line is, when I joined Primerica and I did a comparison, me going to school for 4 or 5 years, however long it was going to take me, for a degree, what I was going to earn after I earned a degree, and they told me I could become a region-wide person, I could make $100 to $120,000 a year. To me, that makes more sense. And if you look at Primerica, and if you look at how amazing it is, just look at Primerica for a second. No inventory. How great it is you could actually run a business and you don't have no inventory, right? No spoilage, in the restaurant business, right? You have to deal with spoilage. You got to throw stuff out every single day. I got to know major overhead. I see people complain every once in a while. They complain about the $25 POL. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, where else can you run a business where you pay $25? No payroll. You ain't got to deal with cash. The biggest thing in my hunter business I've seen all the time, where every once in a while, or every other week, or every other 2 weeks, somebody get fired because they're taking the cash or they're doing stuff, and it was just crazy, right? You ain't got to deal with payroll, no employees stealing stuff, no workers' comp, no fines and fees, right? You said no competition, but we got competition, but it's not like that. Where you're trying to kill each other, everyone, right? No major investments. So how amazing that you could be a part of a company, you could run a business, and you ain't got to deal with all the upfront investment, right? And if you go to the next slide, it talks about, you ain't got to wait for a profit. You ain't got to wait for 3 to 5 year profit over and over. If you look at how amazing it is when it comes to us, people jumping diamond left and right. You got people that, that started Primerica in, 12 months, a year later, 3 years later, 4 years later, they had $1 million in income. It felt like that, right? So you ain't got to wait to make profit. No advertisement, right? No marketing, no limit to the amount of money you could possibly make. Right, you ain't got to deal with quotas, right? Most people, if they run a business, right, or you work for corporate, right, you have to have a quota. You have to do this, you do that, or you get fired, right? It's no season. How amazing it is! It doesn't matter what time of the year, you can still do well. You can still be profitable. And when you start looking at that for a second, we're blessed and honored. Our income right now is sitting at $266. I mean, I used to deliver pizza for a living, and I said that all the time. I was making $4.75 an hour. And I know there's a lot of greats in Primerica that makes a lot more money than we are right now. But for us to be making that type of income, man, every single day I wake up with that attitude of gratitude, just grateful for how amazing this opportunity is. And you look at our licensing, I like that picture for licensing because, it probably took us about 5 years to get a securities license. And I get emotional about that all the time because, and I remember going through that period, I felt like quitting, I felt like giving up. And I'm just grateful for a great upline like Chris just kept believing in us. 8 months later, we got the ring. I know it's the ring, but what? We're about to cross 3 diamonds, man. And that's exciting, right? If you go to the next slide, it talks about, we are just grateful when it comes down towards company recognition. I remember being at the company convention and Glenn Williams was talking about unreasonable goal. And I remember looking at TK and we cried and said, man, we want to get to 200,000, we want to get to 300,000. And we went back and we wrote it down and we had pictures of it in our home. And it's amazing just to see the accomplishment and what's getting ready to happen. If you go, the next one that talks about our family. See, this is our why. See, my daughter just turned 4. And, you know, we got our son that's about to get in the NBA. I mean, this is why we work. This is why we go after it. And my wife, the things that we get to do, we go on trips, we go on vacation, and just get to live an incredible life because it's an incredible opportunity. And if you look at it, man, we on track to do something great. You know, we'll be over 300,000 in the next 30 days. And not only that, we'll promote 6 RVPs. We got a bunch of guys that's focused on doing that. And more important, man, we'll be $1 million hierarchy. So I want to thank Chris for his leadership. Thank you, guys.
Awesome job. Hey, that was fire, man. Today we're about to light it up now. This guy's a superstar in the company, probably friends with everybody in home office. Been on PFN way more times than I have. Just doing the right things with his business. Business has grown. When I looked at his business, I was trying to figure out some things. There's so many awesome things about his business. But one of the things he has going from his size, he has volume going. The A unit just went over 600 codes, over the last couple of months. And 1/3 of those codes, 200 out of the 600 codes, is soon to be a $500,000 earner. The great Power Builders leaders, Harvey Grajales.
Thank you guys so much for having us, representing the $100 million earner team, the A unit. I am so excited to be here with you guys today. And what I wanted to talk about really is what it took, what happened during that run. What is it going to take for your team to make a commitment to go out there and blitz after that $1 million, right? And so let me ask you guys a question out there, right? What is your CCMP? What is your clear, concise mental picture, right? Because without that, a lot of us are really going to be very frustrated in business. We're going to be very frustrated in life, right? And look, those that have it will continue to move. And one of the things that we had, right, is we had teams. Look, there's no shortcuts here. We had teams of people pouring into us all over the company, right, guys? This is what it is. It's a story of ordinary people, average people coming together. And what happens when a team comes together, guys? It don't matter where you're at in the United States or wherever you're at, right? You can move mountains, right? Many people on our team mentioned that it felt like a family, and I agree. That's exactly what becomes when everybody comes together. See, moving the $1 million mountain, right, is completely uplifting, is healing, and is much needed for each and every one of us, every base shop out there, right? And it all begins with the way you think. See, we all learned this, right? And watch how we get into this. They say where there is a vision, when there is no vision, the people, they perish, right? But when there is a vision, the people will flourish, right? And we're so thankful for the ALC, like Lisa Jones, like Joe Ward, right? Like the $1 million earners there, they all poured into the hierarchy, right? And they gave us vision. You see, what they said is this: a healthy is doing 20 to 25,000 for every regional vice president, base shop, and that's the gauge. That's what stimulated the hierarchy. That's what began to get things going, right? And all the regional vice presidents sold out to that vision. It don't matter where they were at in their journey, right? They all sold out to 20 to 25,000, and that began to move. You see. Why? See, it was important. It was important not only to us, it was important for us to represent the company, to let Primerica know that they can count on you. See, you got to let Primerica know that they can count on you as an organization. We need to let our teammates know that they can count on us, that we can go out there and do the things that seemed impossible because it is possible, right? How? We didn't reinvent anything. We just did a lot more of what they told us to do. Everyday accountability. Right? We did everyday countdowns. We did the coaches led by example. We didn't reinvent everything. We just got re-engaged into everything. We booked more appointments. We chair-led, right? We stayed up overnight. We led in the field. You see, because look, when you align with your coach, you got to have a merger with your upline, with your regional vice president team. You got to have a merger with where the company is going. See, in those 2 months, we promoted 26 district leaders because we aligned with Chris Achong and the entire hierarchy. We promoted 8 division leaders. We picked up 15 codes. We had 3 security licenses. Our first regional vice presidents, they put on their $100,000 ring. Shout out to the Henrys, right? We also, what else happened there? We promoted our third regional vice president, Carl and Janelle, who will be putting on their $100,000 ring this month, right? We also got promoted to senior vice president. See, these are the things that begin to happen when you align with your leadership. We had a merger with the entire organization. Not only that, we got promoted to senior vice president. See, if you want extraordinary teammates, we got to give extraordinary and ask yourself, is that what you're doing? See, we led by 4 priorities, and I've seen this, that this is what we worked on. See, the first thing is we worked the law of large numbers in a very short period of time, every day and every single night. The next thing, right, they said the principle was this, right? And this is so crazy. You have to have a vision, teammates, so big that everybody can fit in there. See, and when you're talking to your team and we're talking about going to $1 million or $2 million or $3 million, see, that's a vision where everybody can fit into that, right? And so we talked about that, right? That $1 million run was for the A-Unit organization. Everybody contributed to it. I see my upline who's never been in the field get out there and write so much personal premium. It was just amazing to see. The next thing, the other priority that we focused on was repetition. So you got to repeat. Success leaves schools. You got to repeat it on a daily basis. We went on advertising campaigns. I mean, we spoke to the warm market, the cold market. We went out there and just had advertising. Listen, we're going for a promotion, right? And we want to show you what we're doing. Maybe you can help us out. If not, maybe you can point us in the right direction. The next thing is we focused on daily activity. There was not one leader with a life insurance license that didn't focus on having 10 to 15 Zooms a day. I mean, what else is there to do, right? And so we did that. And also we focused on referrals. See, you schedule invites and you do appointments. You don't develop a new person, right? You develop a new person who can go out there and train other people, and we focused on that. And what I've seen start happening is we started competing. There's this guy, Miguel Ildich, right? And I believe he was inches away. Guys, and I tell you, we had a vision. We said, guys, and he's a great leader, has a great organization, right? And we said, you know what? We can do it. And everybody looked at each other, right? And we all came together with that emergency meeting and said, you know, we're so far away. You guys really think that you can do it, man? But we had that camaraderie, that unity. And that's what begins to happen. And after that, guys, we changed so many lives because we did that. We hit that $100 million run. And I was just so excited, guys. Our belief level went from, where it was at to the next level. And we truly believe we'll go out there and put on the $1 million ring to represent for our hierarchy and for the company. Just want to give a shout out to the Empire Builders as well, to the Power Builder organization as well. We're focused on Chris getting this NSD and SNSD out of the way. Thank you guys so much for having us. Proud to be your teammate, Chris Achong.
Awesome job, man. Hey, we got a bunch of stuff. Great job, Harvey. Great job to all the speakers. We're gonna just kind of slow down a little bit. We got so much stuff. We got such an incredible. I've been here 24, going to 25 years. We got such an incredible story to tell. We're not gonna be able to do it here because there's not enough time. I think they're gonna create like a segment on Primerica called Story, where people actually get to tell their whole story because there's so much and so many people involved, But how awesome is Primerica? Guys, let's give Primerica a big hand. How awesome is Glenn and the executive team? Let's give them a big hand. The home office and everyone that works there, all of our friends that take care of us. I just want to say this. I know it's you guys' job, and I know you worked in all that stuff, but you don't know how much you change our lives. And I wanted to kind of, spearhead my talk around that. You don't know how much we appreciate you and how much you've done and how many lives you've changed. And you guys are, probably the classiest set of people on the planet. Let's give the home office a big hand, guys. My topic today is, has to do with my mom and just, so you got to bear with me a little bit because we're in a special place, guys. We're in a place, I posted, if you're on social media with me, I posted a picture a couple of weeks ago, or a week ago, something like that, of the house we grew up in. And it was about 150 square foot house, really tiny little house. It had 2 rooms. One room had a little kitchen in it, and it had a little table there. There was no sofa or nothing like that. And then the other room had 2 beds, like 2 full-size bed. Had a sheet down the middle with a string on with a sheet on, a string down the middle with a sheet on top of it. My parents thought we didn't hear them, but That's how we grew up. And we grew up humble. They raised us. And there's a lot of priorities, a lot of things that a lot of valuable things that they raised us with. Maybe we didn't have lots of money, but we was raised with a lot of stuff. We was raised with love. There was always love in the family, and I think that's something that we really got to push on. There was always honesty. These are things that we've molded our business around. Honesty. A lot of happiness. Even though there wasn't this, there wasn't that. There was always a place to sleep, and just happiness. There was strong work ethic. I watched my mom go out and work every single day, which we'll talk about that in a second. And the challenge that we have now in Primerica and that we're facing. See, every leader or every person that's hearing us on this call and every person that's in this room has a decision to make. Okay. Just like Primerica, we're absolutely 100% grateful to what Primerica is doing. We got to get more appreciated, more grateful for what the opportunity that we have in place today. We got to make sure we take advantage of it. One of the things that they taught us also is to be grateful, okay? To be a good person. Don't hurt people. You don't have to hurt someone to go to the next level. These are all things that we put in our business. They taught us how to help others, which is Primerica, okay? I saw where, like my dad and my mom would, help kids out. I mean, we didn't have money, but they really didn't have money. And it helped them out with stuff like iron their clothes for school and wash their clothes and things like that, which is a small deal, but all that stuff is raised. And when I see what our regional vice presidents do today, and the stuff that that they help so much people, and there's so much beautifulness that's happening in this world, and so many lives that's being changed. See, we need to take the business to the next level. We owe it to our loved ones that paid an incredible price to get us where we're at right now. We owe it to Primerica to pay an incredible price. You think you worked hard, but you didn't work really hard. Let's think about that for a second. Your parents worked hard. Their parents worked hard. Do you know you're one generation? Most people in this room, if you want to do the math, you're one generation from poverty, and you're one generation possibly to poverty. Like one generation ago, your parents was working really hard day and night, not to become wealthy or financially independent or buy Mercedes-Benz, just to put food on the table. Some of them wasn't even in the United States, and they was fighting to get a visa to come to. And you and I here, we got to take advantage of this thing a whole lot more. One of the worst things on the planet is being ungrateful. And I think we're in a position right now in Primerica where Primerica is taking care of us, and and they're putting everything in place that we need to get up and fight one more time. Yes, we hit the million, but there's so many of us that have the potential to hit the million. There's hundreds of people that's on this phone, that's on this TV right now that have the potential to hit the million. And we don't understand how important it is. See, your gift to the world is winning. You need to put things in place to make sure that you win. Everyone in our hierarchy and the company needs to be thankful and grateful. See, we're going to the next level. There's no doubt about that. And it's going to take a lot of focus, a lot of fighting. We get up every single day. I believe you need to wake up thirsty and go to bed hungry. You need to put things where, Primerica, okay? Which is, I believe, every single, like they talk about millennials and all these things. But if you're in America, you're in something called the privilege class. Just being in America, you're part of something called the privilege class. And then you're in Primerica, it's even worse now. You're really in the privilege class. And for us not to go out there and get after it on any given day, see, we wake up hungry, we go to bed thirsty, we put things in place. We got so many leaders that's popping up right now. Work ethic is at an all-time high. When I see what my parents did and the price that they paid, to just get us to where, I remember my mom used to have these jobs where she would work, 3-4 hours, and they would pay her $4 or $5 an hour, and she would have to go to this job and then go stand somewhere and wait for 4 hours till she get another job, and then go stand somewhere else. And we get an opportunity to be in Primerica. And a lot of you guys, your parents went through the same thing. And if you don't build this thing right and you don't become financial independent for real, one generation from now can be poverty. Is there a rainy day coming? Are you ready? Is there a rainy day coming? Absolutely, there's a rainy day coming. What we need to do is put things in place when a rainy day does come. We need to make sure we start building. If you don't have 50 codes, go get 50 codes. Who are you fooling? Go get 50 codes right away. If you're getting less than 4 codes a month, you ain't working. See, we did a 2-year game plan in Primerica, and I'll end it with this. I remember when we got frustrated in Primerica, and I don't know where you're at, if you're comfortable or if you're uncomfortable. But I remember we got uncomfortable where the company was moving, every other leader was moving, every person was getting recognized, and I was getting zero. And we made a decision to stop being in that disrespectful category where people paid us no attention. And we said, you know what? We're going to go to work for 2 years. And we went to work for 2 years, picked up 4+ codes every single month for 2 years, 100 codes. We had a lot of stuff that fell apart. Some of you guys know my wife passed away in 2008. Some of you guys, you know, you don't understand how awesome it is. You got to get this thing cranking before it's too late. We do a lot of cool stuff now. I do stuff with my mom. My mom's retired now, probably 16, 17 years, whatever it is. You know, but there's, you know, I can't do any of this stuff with my wife anymore because she's not around. But some of you guys still have the opportunity to do that. You still have the opportunity to go win and travel the world. Primerica's giving me freedom. They told me if I build a business and continue to run it, and I continue to run it, Glenn, I promise you we take our foot off the gas. I spend 3-4 hours every single morning. I'm on top of leaders like white on rice. We got one RVP that's out of control, but the rest of them, you know, are focused. The rest of them are going in the right direction. The rest of them are pumped up, excited. You and I, guys, we're going to go to the next level. Whether you want to or not, this thing is moving. So all I want to do is say thank you so much to Primerica. Thank you so much for giving us this opportunity. We're so grateful. We're going to keep getting better at speaking in front of the room, Glenn. I promise you. Put me in front of 100 vice presidents in the locker room. We'll make it happen, man. But love you guys. Thank you very much.